Hi everybody, welcome. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. You just got my hands tonight. Again, technical difficulties. I gotta check a setting here. Yep, we're good. Okay, I'm so glad to be here. Oh, and before I forget, I want to let you know I will not be here next Monday. That's the 12th. That is actually my wedding anniversary, and we have other plans in the works. So I'm gonna take next week off, but I plan to be back the following week with another new project for you. So, little bit of housekeeping, please. If you like my video, please share my video and comment, share down in the comments below, and then you'll be entered to win the project I work on tonight. Last week I showed you how to make this fun little card, and I love this. I love the simplicity, but yet it's so colorful. And because I drew her name, this is going to go out to Mary Wilson. So Mary, I will get this out to you this week. Thank you for sharing my video. I appreciate it. Doesn't cost you anything, and it helps my small business. Okay. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel, and then once you do, click that little blue bell and you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video, which is most every Monday evening. Okay, so I have a project to show you tonight. I'm going to show you how to make this card. This one's not perfect, but this was my prototype. Not too bad. It's called a fancy window card. And look at this. It's got like a belly band around it, but look, we've punched a hole in it for the sentiment. And there you go. So I'm going to show you how to put this together. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. And I'm just realizing that I forgot to cut my designer series paper. So that's okay. Let me get that here. I am using the Perennial Lavender paper. It's carrying over into the new catalog. But you know, funny thing is, I had never purchased it. This is the first time I've owned it. And it's really beautiful. I don't know what I was waiting for, but that's okay. So I guess we will cut this designer series paper. Let's see. Yeah, I want my arm this way. I'm going to need it this way. So this designer series paper is 3 1/4. I'll cut this way here. 3 1/4. Here. Okay, let me get that out of the way. By 8. Oops, can't see me here. 8 1/2. Way down here. 8 1/2. Okay, perfect. We'll get that cutting blade out. That's the perfect size to use for something. I don't know what, but okay. Now we are going to score this paper. I want to make sure I get it scored. I'm going to score it seated this way, and I'll show you why in a minute. So we're going to score this at 4. Okay, that's 1/4, so that's an 1/8 right there. When you're scoring your designer series paper, don't press too hard. And then we're going to also score this at 8 1/4, which is right there. Okay. There's that. And the one other thing I want to score is I've already done that, is our cardstock. I have used Old Olive here as my base. And the measurement on this is 4 inches by 11. And I've scored this at 5 1/2. Now, the reason, usually we make this 4 1/4, but the reason it's 4 is to allow enough room for the belly band and all of that to go in the envelope, okay? So that's why this one's only 4 inches across. I'm gonna go ahead and fold these two, and I just still don't think I did this quite the way I wanted it to. I think I needed to flip it over to score it. That's okay. No, I did it right. What I wanted was I wanted this fold over where I'm going to connect it. I wanted it on this side of my card. When I did this one, it's on this side of the card. And I guess it really doesn't make any difference. You just don't want it on the front, okay? But we're not going to do anything else with the Designer Series paper for right now. I'm going to set that over here. This card, okay, so I talked about our old olive. Now we're going to cut 2 pieces of crumb cake that are 3.5 by 5, and 2 pieces of basic white that are 3.25 by 4 3/4. And we're going to stamp on these. We're going to start first. We'll probably do the inside one first. Where is my stamp? There's my mat. Okay. I'm using my Memento black ink. Let me put this right here. A little discombobulated. And I'm using 2 different stamp sets. I'm using the mixed florals. I'm using this pattern, this flower right here. And then I'm using the tag of thanks for the sentiment. And I'm using the so lucky to know you. I had to find something that fit in that punch there. So this is the inside. I'm going to ink up my stamp in the Memento black. I'm going to put this right here. Okay. And I guess we'll go ahead and stamp on the other one too. Did I not cut? Oh, I did cut another one, boy. Okay, now so one thing that I did, I told you this one wasn't perfect. And you can see how this is where I want this belly band to lay, and it's covering the tops of my flowers. So when I stamp this, I want to stamp it a little bit lower. So I'm going to use this kind of as my template. You know, you're going to have to figure out what works for you in the stamp set that you're using. So I'm just going to go like this. Find that stamp again. Oh, I'm kind of out of my camera. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to put it like that. So I know I don't want to go any taller than that one right there. There we are. Okay, let me get rid of that. I think we'll start with coloring this one. Now I'll tell you what I used here. My colors are light fresh freesia, light Highland heather, and dark fresh freesia, and then old olive. And since I got it in my hand, I'll start with it. And you know what I'm doing? At first I didn't put any green in this, and it was just the purples, and it needed something else. So all I'm doing really is coloring over the black, and that's okay. You can do that. Doesn't have to be fancy. And I'm just mixing all of these purples up very randomly. I think I'm going to start with my dark colors first, my darkest color, and just kind of randomly put it around my plant here. And I'm going to follow this same kind of randomness on the front, okay? Just like I did on here. I think it makes it more interesting. So I usually put about 4. That is the dark fresh freesia. I'm going to use the light Highland heather, which is actually my next color darkness wise. These are, I find this kind of fun to color. And then my light fresh Freesia. Oh, I know what we forgot to talk about when I started out. What happens tomorrow? It's big in Stampin' Up! World. Yeah, the new catalog goes live. Does everybody have their wish list ready? Yeah, I know what I want. Okay. Oh, I need a little more. Hold on, look, I missed a little stem here. There we go. And see, I just think that little extra green adds to the, that's the light old olive. I just think it adds to the, you know, makes it not a little more pleasing to the eye, for lack of a better word, I guess. So I'm going to use my seal. And look, this is the perfect example. When you're using blends, always make sure there's nothing important underneath, because it could bleed through. Now this cardstock's pretty good, but I really hate for you to be on top of another piece of something, color it, and it soaks through. Okay, and you saw me color, so we don't have to do that. I've got one that I already did through the magic of television, so to speak. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, and you can see, well, you can't see it right now, but I just randomly put those 3 shades of purple along with the, you know, on the flowers without any real rhyme or reason, okay? But because this is the inside and this is where my sentiment's gonna go, I had more space. So I used the whole stamp. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the inside. I think that looks so pretty. I'm really bad about doing the insides of cards. Okay, now we're going to put this, go ahead and put this on the front. Then we will get to our belly band slash window, okay? Put this right here. Perfect. Okay, now we're back to our piece of designer series paper. See, this is gonna go, I'm gonna glue it together, but it'll fit on there just fine, and it'll slide up there really nice. Sometimes belly bands get a little bit tight and they can be hard to work with, but it's wise to make that just a little bit narrower. Okay, I'm going to use a tiny bit of the white. No, I'm not yet. I got to punch my hole. Okay, so I'm using the Labeled with Love punch. This one's sticking around for the catalog, in the new catalog. The dies are going away, but this punch is staying. So I went ahead and ordered the punch because I had the dies. So I'm putting this all the way down in this punch. Let's see. There we go. Okay. You know what? I didn't do it right. I wanted this one like this, but that's okay. See? So I'm back to the same way I did it on this one. Go figure. Best laid plans. It doesn't really make any difference. I don't know why. And you do want to make sure if your paper that you're using for your belly band is directional, that it's going the right way, okay? That's going. Now you could make your belly band out of cardstock. You could make it a little wider if you want to, so you could put more decoration on it. I think I want my belly band to be kind of be even with the top of the crumb cake, okay? So we are going to stamp our sentiment in here. This is So Lucky to Know You. Again, that's from the Tags of Thanks. That's an online exclusive. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and use my foam pad just to give me some extra cushion, just in case. With all this thickness, I probably don't need it, but what the, so you can see the difference. This one, the tops of the flowers are under my belly band, and I suppose I could probably could have trimmed my belly band down a little bit, but my ribbon's on there already, so I'm not doing it. So this one's a little lower, and I think it looks okay. Probably nobody would have any gripe with this one, but I just had a thought of something we are going to do now. You know, I like to stamp before I assemble, but this is one of those projects where you kind of got to do it. Sorry if my head's in the way while I look and make sure I get it. There we go. I'm just going to hold it for a second. There we are. That's nice. Whew. That's always kind of, you know, nerve-wracking if you've already got your project pretty much done and then you have to stamp on it. Okay. While I was sitting here, you know what? I know we're going to put this iridescent ribbon on here, but let's put some Stella on there too, on some of these flowers too. I just thought of that. I think that'll look cool. So they'll sparkle just a little bit. Don't do too much. You can smear them, but I'm just trying to lay down and get a little more in my well there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but the recipient would certainly be able to see this. And I just think this is kind of a cool layout. Okay. So now the last thing is to put our ribbon on here. And this is the iridescent striped trim. I'm going to get about 18 inches. So this is 16, 17, 18. Okay. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave it on my card because this one I took the belly band off the card to try to tie this, and it didn't weigh hard anything, and I had a hard time getting it to stay put, so to speak. So this kind of weighs it down a little bit for me. Let me slide it back up here. There we go. Okay. Let's see. See if I can do this. Some days I do really well with bows, some days not so much. And I will probably have to fix this after the video so that it looks better. But you see, you get the idea here. Let's see here. You know what? I don't think it's too bad, really. And then what I'm going to do is put a little glue dot right underneath that knot. And I kind of like the way that bow is laying. I kind of like that. It's not perfect. It's a bit askew. You could put some embellishments on this if you wanted to. I don't think I'm going to, because with the iridescence from this ribbon and a little bit of Stella I put on here, I think it looks great. So see, it slides right off. So lucky to know you. There you go. I mean, you could stamp something up in these corners if you want, because it's most likely you're going to cover it with your belly band anyway. Oops. But look at that. There it is. Pretty simple. So I thank you so much for joining me tonight. Enjoy getting all your new product from the new catalog. If you need anything, this is my website. Let me know if I can be of any help, and I'll be more than happy to help you place your order. So I won't see you next week, but I should be back the following week. So I'll see you in 2 weeks, Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern for Stampin' with Denise. Bye, everybody.